I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, on Lowell Avenue, not too far from here, and was in the first graduating class at St. Raphael's, 1950, and then came to St. X, which was then down on Broadway. I majored in extracurricular activities. That's what I tell everybody. I think I was a fairly good student. I liked learning, but to be very honest, I think I was, at that time, much more interested in activities. I was editor of the newspaper. I really enjoyed that. I got very interested in journalism. I was also on the swimming team, and I've been a swimmer all my life until very, very recently. Now, because I have artificial knees, it's a little hard to kick. But other than that, I swam most of my life. Most of us brothers my age, we got our first degree from Catholic University in Washington, D.C. I was a swimmer, and another brother was also a swimmer here at St. X. He was a freshman, I was a senior, and we used to swim in the Catholic U pool. The coach came up to us and said, "We want you guys to join our team." So we went out and we asked the superior of the brothers if we could join the team, and he says, "No, you can't do that. We don't think that's appropriate." Well, then the coach came and he says, "We're going to have an intramural meet. Maybe you brothers could get a team together." So we got a team together, and we won. I think we won just about every race, and we made the front page of the Catholic U newspaper. Xaverian Brothers win swim meet. I always get a kick out of that. And that's something that shows another side to us, of us brothers. By the way, one of the swimmers on one of the teams was an actor who's very famous, Jon Voight. Maybe you've heard of him. He's an older man now. But he was one of the very, very good swimmer from on one of the other teams that competed. All the brothers I had as teachers, they were really very good teachers, and I just enjoyed meeting them and being with them. And what really impressed me about the brothers was the various personalities and how well all the brothers got along. It really was a community. And that community spirit, because I was in activities outside of teaching too, I got to know them personally and really liked them. They were just fine men and people that I really looked up to, and I got to know very personally. So all of that attracted me very, very much. And the fact that, I guess being a brother, they could really live according to what they really believed in, that always impressed me and still does today. I think that's one of the great advantages, if you will, opportunities as a brother that I've had to really be honest about my own faith life and my beliefs. And I don't have to play games. And that's true, I think, of the brothers in general. We live, I think, as best we can according to what we really believe in. I have taught in Brooklyn, New York for 8 years. That was my first assignment back in 1960. Loved it, loved Brooklyn. And the students there were great, enjoyed that. I was also principal of a school down in Southern Maryland, St. Mary's Ryken now. I've been I've been in leadership positions with the brothers here in the United States. I taught for 10 years out at the School of Theology in Berkeley with the Jesuits. I've worked in Canada at a treatment center for priests and religious. I've taught in the Philippines, I've taught in Africa, taught in Bolivia, Europe, Belgium, pretty much all over. We are a missionary group, and most of us brothers have taught really all over the world. When asked, we go, and you do it. All I can say is it's enlightening, it's informative, And it's a great way to be educated other than just reading and studying. When you actually go to other cultures and you meet other people, and it changes you. I know my family, I come from a very, very huge family here in Louisville, and they always say, you know, you come back from all these places and you're different. And it does, it changes your outlook on life. The major challenge for today is, how do we take the world as it is today, which is very different than the world I grew up in, and how do we meet that world with the gospel? That's a major challenge, because in a lot of ways our society has moved toward the area of individualism, I think, a lot, and even more so than when I was your age. And I consider that probably the greatest challenge for guys like you and the future of our world and our church. How do you bring gospel values to a culture that's going to continue to change? You know, how do you do that? And what does that look like? So that's what I would pose. I hope that, you know, a school like St. X continues to focus on things like that. You know, how do you become, in a sense, almost countercultural? You know, how does the gospel, you know, connect with society today? Major, major thing. Write your own story. Very clear on that. One of the things that I really always appreciated when a former student would come back and say, brother, you taught us to think for ourselves. Write your own story. Yes, you're going to be influenced by many, many people, and that's important, but it has to be your story.